All right, guys. So I just wanted to come on really quick. There was a lot of information last night. Well, yesterday I did this video on my stream, and then last night more information came out. So there's the end of the video is a bunch of new information. There's one nagging question that I have throughout the whole video, and that is I can't seem to find his age. And I ended up being able to find it. It was 19. Somebody, a different creator, had mentioned it. I looked all over Google and stuff, and I just find that number to be very relevant for the information that is going to come next after this miniature intro. So now you have that context in mind. All right, so enjoy the show. All right, guys, we have to restart the entire segment here because apparently I didn't have any audio. But there's new Tall Knight drama going on between Tall Knight and Professor Pippi. Tall Knight seems to have gotten banned. He put a full explanation on his YouTube, which we'll check out after, but I want to go through the TikToks, his little exchange with Pippi, for interesting name. And then after that, we can get into the video, but we're pretty much picking things up as they go. I don't know how old this guy is, and I can't figure out how old the Tall Knight is, which is a little bit of an issue. Because, well, it's very necessary to know this. I just can't find it. If somebody can find it for me, that would be great. Interesting. Okay, let's get this started with his with the Tall Knight's first post of the whatever.
Yeah, I got banned because of this. And
that's obviously why I wanted to know his age, because of the 17 thing. It's very, very relevant to me.
This video is directed to everyone that doesn't like the Tall Knight, that doesn't like me. If you think I am a pedophile, if you've seen all these videos calling me all these names, saying all these things about me, the least you can do is hear my side.
Well, I need to know how old he is to know if he's that.
Please. All I ask is that you look at my YouTube channel, and I finally posted the video addressing everything. I completely address the scamming accusations about the $30,000. I address the transphobia accusations, and I address the groomer accusations. Please just hear me out. That's all I ask you.
Well, he's religious, so I understand the transphobia part. I remember, I forget the specifics, but I remember those first two things. But they're unimportant to me considering the severity of the claims.
Already robbed me of my platform. You've already taken away the money I needed to pay rent. The least you can do is hear my side.
I feel that I had like $5,000 in my creator fund when they banned me.
Please.
It's crazy. I think I might have 10 grand in there.
My link is in my bio.
Am I a little low? I don't think I'm that low. Maybe I am. Let me know. All right, let's see what Professor Pippi's response is, though.
Yeah, I got banned because of this.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
You were banned because you were marketing your adult content to your child fan base on TikTok.
Okay.
Like this video where you dance provocatively to a spicy song after one of your fans said they want to see it grow.
Okay.
And when you take 2 seconds to look at the girl who commented that, she is very clearly 15 years old.
How do you know that she's 15? Is that what the 08 mean? What does 08 mean? I'm doing math in my head. Oh, does that mean she was born in 2008? Because the first thing I see when I see 08 is like, oh, they're my age. Only because like people used to put their graduation dates in the bio. I also didn't graduate though. I dropped out. But we don't need to talk about that. Okay, I guess so. I got a little confused. All right, yeah, 2008. That's their year of birth. Is that a new thing? We used to do ASL. You know? That's so weird. It's weird that people are changing these things. Yeah, I mean, I guess he shouldn't have do it. Okay.
And when people who were concerned about this confronted you...
You know, she's 15. The video was posted a week ago. Its views here come to a complete stop. What?
Wouldn't even take down the video.
I'm trying to see what this person is saying. The video was posted a week ago. Its views have come to... Oh, okay. I guess he's saying he posted it. And then he doesn't care. Okay.
People who were concerned about this confronted you. You wouldn't even take down the video. Like this video where you announced you are now making adult content.
He's such a weirdo. What is going on here? I guess this girl might have been. I don't know if you could tell. Maybe you could tell you're 13. I mean, here's the thing. Okay, let me
This
just.
fan of yours is really excited, and look, you commented back to her. And again, 2 seconds to click the
13.
profile.
Yeah.
She is 13 years old.
Oh my god.
Tall Knight directed all these people to his link tree, and you see that link at the top that says My Workout Routine? Yeah, that goes to his Patreon, where for $5 a month you can get his workout routine, or for just $2.50 more, you can look at his lewd photos and videos without needing to verify your age at all.
Interesting.
That's why you got banned.
Okay, so really quick on this. There's like a lot of little different things that are weird. First and foremost, like I think there's him having an audience fundamentally that might have kids in it or young people in it doesn't necessarily mean like he couldn't promote his OF or something like that, right? TikTok tends to have a younger audience unless you explicitly made your content for like kids or teenagers, I guess you'd say, because they were like 15 and 13, but whatever, under like minors. Which he didn't. Like if you were like Miss Rachel and then you made it know that would be a little bit more, awkward. I don't necessarily care about that. I will say it is weird that he did comment or whatever or duet a video that was like of a 15-year-old, but I could see how he would be confused because I got confused. But then after that commenting, I mean, you should be more careful commenting under some 13-year-old girl's thing. I mean, like, this is where it's like, that's a little weird, as far as the Patreon not being set to 18, you might be able to argue that he forgot to or didn't realize it wasn't set. I don't know. There's a lot of inconsistencies in this Tall Knight guy's story. I will say that it is a little weird though that you'll make a Patreon that's supposed to be for your workout, and then right underneath it, all of a sudden it's like, look at all these pictures. It feels like a little bit of a weird plug. Either way, I wouldn't say that he's a horrible person for that. But there's a lot of charity I got to give him, a lot of grace I have to give him to realize like, hey, that's a bit of a mistake. You should have set the age correctly. But okay, well, yeah. Okay, right. So he's trying to promote spicy content, which is ironic because he's supposed to be this super Christian guy.
I just wanted to take
It says, all I have to say is, wow, to be on social media is disgusting. 100,000 people came for your throat.
a second to say thank you to people. Actually, stop.
I don't care about this.
You can look at his lewd photos and videos without needing to verify your age at all.
I'm sorry, you'll have to remind me. Is this the third or the fourth time you've duetted me trying to expose me, only for me to duet you, prove you wrong, and for you to delete your video? As usual, these hilarious...
What is with this character?
Obviously desperate accusations can be disassembled with basic logic. So
let's hear the basic facts and logic time.
To elaborate. And I'll make this quick, don't worry. So to put it simply,
Maybe. I don't think so. He posts a thirst trap, and then when somebody flirts, he wants people to buy it, so he flirts back. I doubt all sex workers check every profile that they respond to. I understand what you're saying, but I also think, at the very least, that it should be kind of normal for you to have to check the profile of somebody, right? Before if you're making thirst trap content, I don't think it's a huge ask to be like, just click on the profile of the comment you're responding to real quick if you're going to do it. I don't think that it's like a huge unrealistic thing to go click. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, there's no bio. This one is, then you could be like, this one is safe to respond to. And then if you click one that says,
you can look at it.
Then if you click one and you open it up and it says, oh, I'm only 4 years old, then you go, maybe I don't respond to that one. So even if you don't think it's intentional, which I think that's a decent perspective, very least, like, bro, come on. You got to be, at the very least, protect yourself by looking at these profiles and looking at these ages, right? Because they're not going to be, a 14-year-old's probably not going to be able to sign up for an OF unless they steal their mom or dad's credit card, which can happen. But that's would be the safety barrier there. But, he lives in medieval age when the consent is different. Gotcha.
You prove you wrong and for you to delete your video. As usual, these hilariously desperate accusations can be disassembled with basic logic, so allow me to elaborate. And I'll make this quick, don't worry. So to put it simply, there is no NSFW content on my Patreon.
What?
Yeah.
There's not? Then what is this? Access to what is this then?
And that's for one very simple reason. Patreon does not allow NSFW content.
What? I feel like that's not true. Wait. I feel like that's not true. I feel like that's not true at all. There's a fine line between creations and experiences with the highlighted community. We understand that creators sometimes want to push boundaries of what's acceptable in society, but we don't allow pornography or sexual services. What? I feel like I've seen... I thought that they did. That's so weird, because I'm looking at it, and there's a benefit guideline here from Patreon. There's a fine line between creation. Okay, as a result, you cannot offer the following benefits. Okay, hold on. While we welcome nudity, oh, they do. They allow nudity on Patreon. There's just certain terms. Wait, he's not even right. This is weird. This can't. Wait, so you can allow it. There's just things you can't use it. You cannot use Patreon to provide access to pornographic material, such as giving access to websites or shared private access, whether on Patreon or porn is defined as a real people engaging it. Oh, you cannot. You can provide nudity, but you cannot show any type of like your own personal gratification. So I knew that wasn't right. So he's like, is he lying? Why? Where did the picture that Professor Pippi got come from then? Wait, so he's just not correct. Yeah, you cannot offer items that are gratifying. Okay, yeah, great. So we figured it out. He's not right. I don't know if he's lying though. But where did
TJQ super chatted $4.99.
Where's this picture
I
from?
just found money, so I'm sharing. Thanks for a dose of sanity online.
Well, I thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate that. But keep your money if you need it. But okay, he has to reference this. Why is this here? The first thing he should have said was this was fake. Okay.
And the only reason these tiers exist there is because I was originally going to post it there. Why? Because Patreon only takes 12% of your income. Whereas
wait, so this guy is an idiot.
OnlyFans takes 20. So the only reason those tiers are there is because I was originally going to post stuff, and they were only up for maybe 2 or 3 days.
Oh my god, this guy's an idiot. He's just so dumb. He's a dumb person. I don't even know how to respond. It's very rare that I'm sent to be speechless. I don't know what to say. You had it on there for 3 days. So the reality here, this guy's an idiot. I'm sorry. The reality is that you had intended to put it on Patreon until you found out that apparently the content you wanted to make would not be allowed on there. So your intention was to put it on there. He's just like a weird, dumb. This guy's an idiot.
Several weeks ago, and then they got taken down because they violated Patreon's guidelines. So, as usual, you are taking facts about my life out of context.
Well, then the question is, how come you didn't have it set to 18? You know,
and attempting to make me look bad in front of your meat-writing audience.
I mean, you look bad regardless because you're this super religious, conservative fucking idiot doing OnlyFans. Like you're just a hypocrite. Wow. Jesus Christ.
For views. The only thing I'm guilty of is seeing a sexualized comment and assuming the user was an adult. The fact that you would see a comment like that and automatically think of children is 10 times more concerning.
No. Bro, what a weird twist. It's not if you want to say like I didn't check the age and like I should have, that's fine. I believe that you didn't do it on purpose. It's just but to be like to criticize this guy because he's like, oh, you should have checked the age. Like that's just that's concerning that you feel it's concerning that if you were doing OF content you would check the age of the people that you respond to their comments. Okay. All right. Okay.
So please, the next time you come after me, take more than 2 seconds to investigate what's going on before trying to make me look bad. Have a great day.
Bro, my burnt that this video burnt me out. There's no way this guy's this dumb. Okay, let's see the next Pippi
As
video.
usual, these hilariously desperate accusations can be disassembled with basic logic, so allow me to elaborate.
Oh, shiver me timbers.
So this is my first bit of advice to Tall Knight, is you need to learn to give indirect responses to people. It's a real thing. Listen, sometimes you're going to come under fire from people. And it might just be one person, it could be 10 people, but you're probably better off just explaining the situation and apologizing and not trying to come out after somebody. So if, let's say Pippi's like, you did this, and this wrong, instead of trying to go at him, just talk about the situation in a more vague sense. Oh, I made this, and this mistake. People have been saying I did this. I'm sorry, I made this mistake, blah, 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 blah. It's just something to keep in mind.
So to put it simply, there is no NSFW content on my Patreon.
To put it simply.
Yes, because you deleted it. Does this look familiar, Tall Knight?
Whimpering.
Did you not?
Oh, whimpering audio. Okay.
I think I would have the receipts for everything.
Would you pay
I have
for it?
all the videos, all the photos, and all the audio
Why? You're a fucking weirdo, dude.
from before you deleted them.
It's such just weird to me.
You can lie and cover your tracks
Full vid of me blank mommy night. On. Okay.
all you want, but you marketed and sold this stuff to children.
That is not true. I'm gonna defend that one thing. I don't think he marketed it and tried to sell it to children. The one argument that is like he should have said it to 18 plus. That's a big deal. He might have done that on purpose, but I'm gonna make a reasonable assumption to say, like, you know, I try to give people a general reasonable benefit of the doubt. Tall Knight seems like a moron. I wouldn't doubt that he's just too stupid to realize he had to set it to 18. Because another real reason I say that is because it took me like 15 minutes to set my Patreon to 18 plus when I did it the other day. I don't make any like inappropriate material on there. I just wanted it to be 18 plus in case I decided to do some. Oh, because I did a reaction on my Patreon to that Nair video where that guy spreads, opens his butt. So I was like, you know what? Let me set my Patreon to 18, and then I'll react to that and I could put it on there because I couldn't put it on YouTube. And it took me a little while. So that's just from my experience. But okay.
Which is very concerning considering your history with minors.
Something to make me look
What does that mean, though?
bad in front of your meat writing audience for views.
I don't remember there's anything with minors that was like particularly concerning.
I don't need to attempt to make you look bad, brother. You do that all by yourself.
Okay, that's pretty much that. This guy's a silly goose.
Yes, because you deleted it. Does this look familiar, Tall Knight?
All right.
Professor, I deadass used to respect you, but this is just sad. How many times are you going to take things out of context to try to make me look bad? Because you're right, that post was still on my Patreon as of last Thursday.
Okay.
But a very important detail here is the fact that you...
What history of minors? I'm very apprehensive about people who use the word minor when they talk about people because, like, a lot of times, like, I could say, I'd be like, wow, this adult to talk to this minor. How? Then you'd be like, wow, that's horrible. It's like, how old were they? Oh, 17 and 18. Right? So you have to be very specific. I don't remember the specifics of what I looked into. We'll see in the further as we go in there, but I don't remember anything particularly concerning coming out of here.
couldn't even open it. Because literally almost a month ago, they violated guidelines and got flagged.
Or whatever. Okay.
So yes, the posts were there, but you couldn't do anything with them
He probably could. He sounded like he saved it.
because they were flagged. You are trying to paint the picture that I used Patreon solely because it had no age verification while advertising to minors.
Well, right, but then the issue is like, why didn't it have age verification? Just give me an excuse for that.
The only reason I tried to use Patreon once and it didn't even work was because it pays more than OnlyFans.
Well, apparently he has the whimpering audio, so it did work.
That is all. The only
He immediately, he was on it. He's like, Tall Knight made it a Patreon. I gotta download his whimpering audio. Like what? It's just fucking weird.
thing I am guilty of is being too lazy to check someone's bio before responding to their comment.
Well, no, I mean, I think it'd be good for you to give us an explanation for why didn't you set it to 18?
And for that, I am sorry. And obviously from now on, I'm going to be checking everyone's bio.
Okay.
But a simple, honest mistake like that anyone could have made does not make me a pedophile. So please, for the love of God, move on with your life and stop attacking me.
All right. I mean, this guy's not going to be able to return. And the reason I say that is because all he's doing is he's making his stuff about controversy. Yeah, so I guess it's time to watch the next.
As usual,
I guess it's time to watch the next part, and which is this video, my side of things. And then we'll, I don't know, cry? I don't know. We're going to watch that, and then maybe we will check and see if there's an update from Professor Pippi or the other guy after we're done reacting to this video.
hello.
All right. Great way to start a video that's about your side of things, brother. Oh, let's go.
If you're watching this, that means you're here to figure out the truth of what's going on behind everything, and that means...
Well, not the truth, just words. I'm just wondering what your perspective is. It's not necessarily the truth, though. It's something. It's something. It's something.
means that you are the type of person who doesn't just believe shit. You actually do your own thorough investigating before forming.
Well, this guy does a really good job of exposing himself. So, if there is anything, he'll probably admit it on accident anyway.
An opinion, and I respect that profoundly. So firstly, I want to say thank you for taking the time to actually come and hear my side of the story, rather than just believing everything you see in comment sections about me. So, one, thank you. And two, if you're not from there, I am the Tall Knight. You might know me from the Good Vibes trend on TikTok a while back. That's when I first blew up, and that's been the face of my content for a long time now. Just being a symbol of positivity, enthusiasm, and optimism. And I'm here today to finally stop beating around the bush and actually finally make a video talking about everything, rather than just going back and forth with people on TikTok, defending myself in comment sections. I've avoided making a video like this for a long time because...
Bro, why is this so loud? This is so annoying.
You gotta see it from my perspective. Like, if
You really like the glasses over the helmet? For real? Or are you trolling?
someone started a rumor about you that you fucked your sister, you don't necessarily...
Why go across the street, brother? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You aren't exactly the fastest to correct them and like immediately jump at the opportunity to defend yourself, because that actually looks bad. If someone makes a joke about you fucking your sister and you immediately say, I didn't do that, what are you talking about? That honestly makes it sound like you did. So that's kind of the...
I'm not understanding the logic. I'm not following here. So somebody said you did a thing that you didn't do and you respond, it sounds like you did it. I mean, if you wanted to say, hey, if some people made accusations that were stupid, I didn't feel like responding because I figured people would be smart enough not to know that they're not true or whatever, that's fine. But, I mean, your line of logic is silly. Responding to accusations doesn't necessarily... Okay, whatever.
The logic there, the thought process that I haven't made a video explaining everything, it seemed weird, because I know...
Well, the reason he didn't make a video explaining these things is because he didn't have to, but now he's banned, and he feels like he has to try to save himself. Which I get it, right? Like, there's sometimes not responding to controversy is your best bet. For sure, I understand that. You know, because sometimes people are just being annoying, but, I mean, your logic is just bizarre with some of this shit.
Not true. So, like, why would I need to convince everyone else of what I know is true? Like, I know these things are false. I know that they are... So, like, why would I bother? Like, if it's not true, then why...
I mean, like... you don't have to have a super somber, serious tone when you do like make a mistake or whatever. But like, I mean, leaving the burping in, I don't know.
Why does it matter? But it's reached the point that I literally lost 2 years of my life.
That's crazy.
I lost my account with 1.6 million followers.
Hey, not as bad as losing your account with 2.4 million followers and verified. Could be worse. The only good thing is that I actually, you know, all things considered, I did a decent job of transitioning my platform. At the very least, you know, I'm sustainable right now. I'm doing pretty well. I mean, honestly, I'm making moves. I'm doing all right. I mean, I'm probably one of the more lucky, the luckier individuals when it comes to this stuff, because I've been able to sustain a career for like 3 years doing this. So things could be worse. I could be told that.
All because of these lies that got out of hand. So, this video
So a worker at a travel agency that looked just like me, dude. Who works at travel agencies?
is going to be going down the list of the 3 main things about me that you've probably heard and that you're probably here to find out. And here are the 3 things in chronological order that they happened. So there is, he's a scammer, transphobe.
Yeah, I remember this. So the scamming thing, I remember he was asking his audience for money. It wasn't really that big of a deal. It didn't really matter. Like he was sensationalizing his like where like he didn't have a place to stay. He was like asked to leave because he was being disrespectful to the house. I think it was his brother or something. And he was asked to leave. And he pretended like he was homeless, but they were giving him like a month, so he was playing it up in like a shitty way. Like not a good thing. The transphobic stuff, yeah, I remember. I don't remember again. Like I could probably put the video in the description. From what I remember, the transphobe stuff, like yeah, he was being transphobic. He's religious. I mean, there's not a lot to say about it. Like yeah, you know, I think I have the TikTok scamming and transphobe. I have a video. I'll put it in the description for people who are interested. So yeah, that's a truth. I have to like go into it specifically. I forget exactly what he had said, but we'll see.
Groomer. So this video is going to be me going down that list and explaining to you everything that actually happened. Like actually. And I'm going to provide all the proof in the world because I have it. Like I don't know how better to describe it besides the fact that they are lies. So I'm going to be going through these one by one and explaining each of them with bounteous evidence and proof. So, the first one, he's a scammer. This one, I actually kind of find the funniest because it's so comically untrue. Like, there is absolutely nothing to support that besides what someone claimed. So basically, I'll start you at the beginning. Back around January, I went through the hardest breakup of my life, and I was in the darkest state mentally that I had ever experienced. I had gotten cheated on by the person that I was with, and I made an attempt on my own life. And as a result of that, I was brought to the care of a mental health facility in the state of Maine, and I stayed there for a few days while they tried to diagnose me and get me on some medication.
What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, maybe this is true, but I don't think any of this is what happened. I'm pretty sure the dude was just like looking for, like, he was staying at like his fucking brother's house or some shit, and he was being disrespectful to their rules, so they asked him to leave, and then he like he pretended that he had instantly left already, or he pretended that they kicked him out on the spot even though they told him he had a month. I'm pretty sure that's actually what happened. I mean, I guess this could be true. I just feel like it's not. This seems what? Because he's been responding to these allegations. That's the thing. It's not like he never responded, and this is the first time we're hearing it. He's responded to them before. It's all gone now because his account got deleted. But he responded to this stuff before. So, like, this is all new. So he could either be new news or maybe he's just lying. I don't know.
And after I got out, I decided to make a change in my life because I was like, okay, so living the way I want to live, that didn't work. This is where I ended up. I ended up suicidal, living the way I liked living, being lazy and just doing what I want and never really committing fully to anything, always taking the easy route, and that's where it got me. So I made the fundamental decision to turn my life around, and that's what I did. I announced on TikTok that I was going to take a month break, and then I, for 30 days straight, didn't even like touch gluten or anything with carbs, and I worked out like almost every day for like hours, and I like deleted TikTok, and I was hyper focusing on myself while getting my grind at work so I could get my money up, and things were going great. And then at the end of those 30 days, I made my return to TikTok, and then that's where I took off. that is where everything started for me.
Gotcha.
Blew up. It went mega viral. And then I made several more good feelings videos after that, every single one getting fucking millions of views, and that's where everything took off for me. So then a little bit into that, during that success, I met someone. Her name was Caitlin, and she is my current girlfriend. And what happened was, it was long distance, so I invited her.
I guess that's the tall mommy, the tall night mommy or whatever that we saw right next to his whimpering video.
Her to fly down to me and figure out if we were compatible. I invited this girl into my room, in the room that I was paying rent for, where I was living with my older sister and her husband.
Yes.
Pyrocynical made a video about it, and he thought that it was my landlord, but it
I don't care about Pyrocynical, so.
wasn't. I was living with my sister, her husband, and oh my god. There is so many more details here about what piece of shit people they were, but that's not what I'm here to.
Yeah, you disrespected their living space. I don't care about your perspective. The reality is you invited, so like right off the bat, I was living with my sister and her husband, and then I invited my girlfriend to come move over to me from whatever state to live with us. I would be so fucking angry if someone ever pulled that shit on me. Like, are you kidding me? If I had like a brother or something living here and they're like, I'm gonna have my so and so, I'd be fucking livid. Are you kidding me? So you did something wrong. I mean, like, this is an objective. I mean, for you to be like, oh man, it wasn't me, it was them. No, it probably was you, asshole. I mean, like, why would you even do that? Why would you even like presume that this was okay?
To talk about. I'm not here to talk about how absolutely horrible they were. If you want to learn everything about how awful they were, click the link in the description. It goes to this website that covered that because someone made like a news report about me and covered that story back when
I don't. It's a know your meme. This is knowyourmeme.com. I have no interest in even caring about their perspective on the situation. Why would I ever go and read Know Your Meme at all? Hey, Know Your Meme is my resource. No. If he's paying rent, though, it doesn't matter if he's paying rent. You're paying rent for one person. Regardless, if you are living with somebody, if you are, whether you're paying rent or not, and I guarantee you, even if he was paying rent, it wasn't as much as that it would have been worth anyway, because he's like a fucking family member. But even if you're paying rent, you still ask the person whose house it is if you can have someone move in. So, okay.
first talked about it. But more to the point, I flew Kate down to see.
Like, we don't know all the details, and I personally just like don't care. Like, based on what we see, like, I could totally see why the family would be like irritated with this guy. So I doubt they were pieces of shit. They were letting them live with him. He just probably doesn't like boundaries. He's a kid, and he probably wants to do whatever the fuck he wants.
And me and her, we were in my room, and I'm not gonna lie, we fucked. And my sister had expressed beforehand that she didn't want us to do that. But obviously, I am not the only teenager in the world that has made that type of mistake. Or you aren't supposed to, but you do anyway, just because things happen. So then what happened next was my
Well, you were probably being very loud, and it probably happened more than once, and then they were like, oh, this is annoying.
sister kicked me out. And again, there's a lot more details here that are in that link where I explain everything just as thoroughly. But she was pissed that I had a girl over, so she decided to kick me out. And
yeah, if she's pissed that he had a girl over, it means he didn't ask permission to have her live there.
it was December at the time.
Oh no. And then again, what I remember is he had a month to leave. It wasn't an instant kick out. It was like he had a month to leave. He's trying to make it seem like it was like instantaneous, but it wasn't.
In the middle of the night, it was like 11 or 12, and she kicked us out. So I just had to grab my stuff and then walk outside.
Again, you can watch the full video I put in the description if you're watching this like offline or whatever, or not on the stream. But like, it wasn't an instantaneous kick out. It was like, oh, you have a month to leave. I'm pretty sure that's what I remember. He's just lying.
Into the snow. And then I was like, well, we're kind of fucked. So I called my best friend, Logan. He came and picked us up, and we were able to go and stay at his place with his parents. Okay. And they said we could sleep in their basement. So that night, at my best friend's house with his parents, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
But you took a picture of stuff outside saying that you were homeless. So, what? All right,
whatever. I have $400 in my bank account right now. Okay. And I'm not allowed to go back home to my apartment. And I have a girl with me, and I didn't know what to do. So, out of desperation, I picked up my phone, I went outside to the road, and I made a video calling for help to my followers.
Well, you made a video with all your stuff in the picture about how you were kicked out of your house. This is a problem. Is like this. The problem with this whole situation is you're never gonna you're never gonna get an honest answer out of this guy. I think that's the reality, because his framing of the situation is just not correct. I remember enough to know that he got kicked out. He had a month to leave, and because he was living in their space and he wanted his girlfriend to move in or whatever, and they were having very loud sex, I imagine, and he made it seem like it was instantaneous. So like all of his stuff was in there too. Like it's not like he just all of his stuff was in the picture. So what you're saying is you went to a friend's house and then you took a picture asking for help. So you took all your stuff and put it on the outside to make it seem like you're like, it doesn't make sense.
I explained everything to them. You could go find it. Pyro Cynical made a video about it. I'll add him in the description as well if you want to go and see that video. And that's what happened. That was that. I made a video saying that I was homeless and that I needed help and I had nowhere to stay. Because obviously, your best friend's parents' basement is not a permanent solution. Okay. That was very, very temporary. I would be lucky if they let me stay there more than like 2 days. So then after I posted that video, I went back inside with my girlfriend and we laid down and we just kind of like took a nap. Just to like let the video do its thing. And when we woke up, in my Cash App, I had already been donated like $14,000. And I was like, holy shit, that is so much money. That is so much.
And by the way, I don't care that he got money from people that wanted to donate to him. You know, his only real sin here is that he just should have been more honest. Like, hey guys, I got my sister told me I had to be out in a month. I'm gonna be homeless. But instead he sensationalized the situation. That's the real big issue there. Like, I don't care about his fans giving him money. It's just that, like, just be honest about it, you know?
More than I needed. And we were so happy and we were like dancing and hugging and we were like, okay, we're gonna be safe. It's gonna be all right. So then I went and grabbed my phone. Then I went downstairs. You know how TikTok works, or some people do. When a video is blowing up, it is getting like thousands of likes a second. Like that's how videos blow up on TikTok. So the money that was being donated to me, that number was rising so fast. It was literally going from 14,000 to 15,000 to 16,000 like that. And I will admit, I for a moment had to sit and consider. I could have just sat there. I could have just let that number keep rising. No one would have known, no one would have been any the wiser, and I could have just let that go and go and go. And eventually, who knows, maybe get myself $100,000 if I let it run for another hour.
Yeah, you should have. Who cares? That's the thing. It's like, he doesn't even know, and some of the people criticizing him probably maybe don't even know either, but they don't even understand the issue here. The issue isn't that you got money. The issue is that, like, you lied about it. You lied about the situation you were in. You could have just said, "Hey guys, listen, I'm getting asked to leave my my house with my sister is asking me to leave because like my girlfriend is like, you know, she doesn't have a place to stay or something and she needs to live with me and like it's not, you know, accommodating, so I only have a little while until I have to go. I only have like a month and then I'm going to be out of a living space. You know, if you guys could help me out." I'd be all, okay, people, you know, hey, they're making an informed decision on whether they want to give you money or not. Like, who cares? That's all good. But instead, you didn't say that. You sensationalized it, and that's really the issue more than anything else, for me at least. You know, and I really don't care that much, to be honest with you. It's not that big of a deal to me, but it's still like not the right way to go. So.
I knew damn well if I didn't do anything, if I didn't make another video, I would keep getting thousands and thousands of dollars a second.
Okay.
But I knew that 14,000 was enough. So I went downstairs, I recorded the video, and I was like, thank you guys so much. You have saved me. I'm good. Stop sending me money. I don't need any more. I'll be okay. And then I posted that video, went back upstairs and we checked it. And then it had reached, if I remember correctly, about $32,000. That is how much in total was made. And the donations kept coming. So then I had to go into my Cash App and
just like I do on my NSFW OnlyFans.
Switch it so that donations wouldn't automatically be accepted. So that people couldn't just send me money and it would go straight into my account. I went so far
I don't care.
as to turn donations off. so that any money sent to me, I would have to accept it manually. Otherwise, if I didn't touch it, it would be sent back to the donor. And that is what I did. And
Okay.
here are the email receipts to prove.
I'm pretty sure the only reason that happened was because, was it Muscle Pill? That's his name, right? I'm getting that right. Called him out on it and like exposed it to him to like, or exposed the little thing that is going on where he was lying about how he immediately got kicked out, and that was his response, was to do that instead to make it seem like he's a nice guy. This guy, that's the problem with this guy, is that he just does things to seem like a nice person. Like he just wants you to think he's a nice guy. I think that's the biggest issue more than anything else, that this guy wants you to think he's a nice guy. And he does things that are like kind of shitty. I don't think he's some kind of predator, but he seems to be kind of an asshole. He just seems to be kind of a shitty person, like a dumb little fucking loser. I mean, that's what I get out of it. But maybe I'm a terrible judge of character.
Prove that. These are all of the hundreds of thousands of dollars that I could have taken, but I didn't. And I sent it all back to the donors because I knew I had enough. I didn't need to do that. I did not need
Who's
to
your
do
video
that.
editor?
I could have, if I was scamming people, I would have taken as much money as I could have and left, but I didn't. And then, I think it was either 1 or 2 days later, then me and my girl went to a hotel, so we didn't have to sleep with my best friend's parents anymore. And then my sister and her husband were pissed that I got saved because she was so mad that she wanted me homeless. She said that specifically when I begged her to let us stay at the apartment. She was so mad that she wanted me homeless. Even though she kicked me out, I got $30,000. She was so mad.
I just don't believe it. Again, I'm pretty sure this guy didn't get kicked out. He had a month to leave. So I wouldn't doubt that they were mad that he effectively lied to them about, like, to the people to get money from them. He's probably like, oh, this little asshole. He's such an entitled little fuck. And now he left and made it seem like, we kicked him out when we didn't. And now he got $30,000. What a dickhead. What are you talking about?
So then her and her husband both started posting TikToks trying to convince everyone that I did it on purpose, that I left voluntarily, that they didn't make me leave, and that I had till the end of the month, and that I chose to be homeless.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought, oh my word. And then that's what happened. They made.
I mean, what makes the most sense would be, oh, they told you that you had to leave by the end of the month, and you were a baby about it, so you called your friend and said, I have to speak like an intelligent person. What's more likely is that they told you had to leave, and you had until the end of the month because you decided to move your girlfriend in without any level of permission. Maybe you made up some story. It's like, oh, she'll only be here for a couple days, and it turned out you're trying to have her live with you. And they said you have to be out by the end of the month. So you called your friend and said, can I stay with you a little bit? I just got kicked out of my house. You put the stuff on the front steps of your, or you put the stuff, your shit outside, waiting for them to arrive. And then you took a picture of it and said, guys, I'm homeless, help me. And then they donated $30,000 to you. When what you could have said was like, hey guys, like I am, I have to be out of my house till the end of the month. You know what I mean? Like, you just lied. You sensationalized it.
A video saying that I was pretending and that I had all the time in the world to find a new apartment. Again, key detail here. After I posted the video asking for money, then they texted me saying, you can stay till the end of the month to find an apartment. But here's a very important detail that was left out. The date of which that they kicked me out was a week away from the end of the month.
I apologize for not being present last night. I wanted to address you directly to clear up any misconception. I wanted a piece of, what does this mean?
They kicked me out was a week away from the end of the month. They did not give me a month to find a new apartment. They gave me a week. And in what universe can someone find and move into a new apartment with $400 in their bank account in a week? If you can show me that, then go ahead. That's all that happened. And then, yeah, I did post about it in my Discord, and I explained everything. And then even Pyro Cynical made a video about it in my defense. And then, like, it got...
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't speak positively to you, Pyro Cynical. I don't even care.
Clear. Like, everyone was like, oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Pyro Cynical, please collab with me. Please collab with me in my transphobia. I don't know. Oh fuck, I'm gonna die. I got locked.
Sorry. I was like, okay, cool. Finally. But for some reason, every couple months, that rumor comes back around. I'll make a video, and then in the comments, someone will just say,
remember when you scammed your fans?
and then it blows up again. And then everyone believes that I scammed people again. And I have all this proof as to why that's not the case. And everyone just believes it every time, just because they want me to be the bad guy. So that was the first thing.
The
that was all of the
jokester
proof
from
and
the
reason
movie.
as to why that does not make sense. No, I did
Jokester.
not fake being homeless. No, I did not scam people. In fact, I actually did a pretty incredibly morally correct thing that I didn't need to do. And if I was a scam,
It's hard to try to be the nice guy when you're jerking yourself off. I did the morally good thing. I did the morally good thing by not taking any more money. Listen, let me tell you something. If I was actually homeless, let me explain something to you. If I had a situation going on and I was honest about it, and I was like, listen, guys, you know, I got a toe growing on my nutsack. And I was honest about it. And you guys were like, this guy needs help, and you donated $50,000 to me, I'm not going to give that back. Because you guys, under the understanding that I had a toe growing out of my fucking balls, you could see the counter on, you know, whatever page it is, as long as you could see it, and you're like, you know what, I see he has 40 grand, but you know, I got to help this toe ball guy out. And you wanted to give me $1, I'm not giving it back. You want to know why? Because I gave you the ability to make an informed decision about my toe balls. That's the way that I see it, right? So why would you, like, what you're saying, it's just silly.
or I wouldn't have done. So that's the first thing. On to the second thing.
And I
He's
would
a
be in the right.
transphobe. And this, I will humbly admit, there is some truth to. Okay. I don't mean it in that way. I don't mean I am a transphobe. I mean, this accusation was not foundationless.
I think I remember the Discord thing where there was just like, I don't remember the specific.
Was not out of thin air like the others were. This one started when a while back a transgender music artist whose name I can't remember, they posted a video on TikTok promoting their music, and like that's all it was. It was someone posting a video about their music and how it was all cool and stuff because she was trans. And then when I saw it, I was like,
I couldn't help myself but to say something rude.
Scrolling through the comments, and I was like, huh, I'm really surprised no one's like saying anything in the comments. Just everyone was like being super supportive. And this,
Wow, what a tragedy. Tony was being supportive to a fucking trans person. Holy shit. Gotta stop that. I gotta say something. I gotta say something now.
I admit to, it was more or less a hate comment. I disrespectfully commented, I wish we could see all of the comments he's deleting.
Yeah. They were like a trans woman. I think there was a little bit more to that. You just watch the other video because I don't remember the specifics because this person is not really worth remembering anything about.
That's it. That's literally all I said. That is literally
I'm pretty sure there was like a little bit more to it. I don't remember the specifics though.
it. I used their wrong pronouns. That is literally.
Well, yeah, you did that on purpose, right? Like you did it antagonistically to try to like you like the way you're presenting it. What happened was this person is a trans person that existed and made music, and it upset you that they weren't getting hate. So you're like, I bet he's deleting it. Like you were trying to be facetious. Like that is transphobic. Like you're not only did you misgender them intentionally, but you were upset that there wasn't enough hate on their page. So you criticized them for deleting comments. I mean, it's just a scum fuck disrespectful move to make. So
All that happened. I used their wrong pronouns. Okay. And yes, it was more or less on purpose.
More or less? How? Which one is it? More or less?
Because I didn't like the music. And again, I'm not trying.
You didn't like the music, so you felt the need to be transphobic. That's wild, brother. I mean, same, am I right? People are eating up. Sorry, what happened to you, man? Just being the positive knight we all know you are. He's not a positive knight. He's a fucking dick.
I'm trying to trash the artist, but in my opinion, the music was like dog shit. So then I insulted them.
So just move on.
And for that, I am sorry. I am. That goes against everything I stand for as a positive vibes influencer. And I shouldn't have done that. That was wrong of me. That was hateful,
Nice
and
guy.
it was completely unprovoked. I shouldn't have done that. I genuinely should not have. And for that, I am eternally sorry.
He didn't even respond to this way. First of all, this isn't even like a good apology because he's downplaying it. But he didn't even respond this way till like now. So like, why would we even believe you in the first place?
Just because I have a different music taste, that doesn't justify me disrespecting you. And I'm sorry. But like, oh my god, the backlash I got for that was comical. It was like, I got thousands of people duetting me.
Bro, this guy really added like the music in for some flair. Holy moly, this is crazy.
Flooding my comments, calling me like a violently transphobic, and that I hate trans people, and that I'm like a bigot, and that I hate, and that I'm like all these things. Getting people telling me to kill myself, saying I didn't deserve my platform. It was overwhelming at first.
I mean, not for nothing, but like, you're a positivity guy. Like, you know, there's plenty of transphobic people who don't make their entire platforms about being a positivity person. So for you to be rude to anybody for any reason literally is antithetical to your platform. So no shit, people are going to give you shit for that. Like, that's the problem. That's the energy. That's why I don't really get much criticism for being an asshole, because I'm not a nice guy. I don't go, I'm a really nice guy, I'm the coolest guy ever. I'm not a wholesome content creator. I'm just like a dude that talks. I'm pretty open about how much of like a fucking asshole I am. In fact, a lot of my platform is talking about some of the mistakes I've made in my past to try to talk to other people about it and be like, yeah, you don't want to do this. But that's not your platform. Is to, you're the nice guy. So when the facade goes down, people realize you're really just like a fucking asshole. That's why you shouldn't pretend to be a nice person, because you're not a very nice person.
Just because I use someone's wrong pronouns.
Now suddenly I had thousands of people wishing death upon me, and that's what happened. So then I made a follow-up video saying that the reason I believed that was because I was Christian. And in retrospect, that was pretty dumb of me, because that doesn't make sense. Because my video was saying, I disagree, and you need to respect the fact that I disagree because of my religion. But like, in retrospect, I realize that doesn't make sense, because I'm saying that you need to respect what I believe. When that doesn't make sense, because I wasn't respecting what they were believing. Wow. I should have used her correct or preferred pronouns.
You should have just not said anything at all. It wasn't about that. The problem is that after he explains it, it's not even just the pronouns that are the issue. The issue is you thought that they deserved to be bullied just because they were trans. What you are literally telling us, your perspective is that no, you didn't think that they were getting bullied enough for being trans, so you decided to leave a bullying, which to the point where you thought that they were deleting comments. So you felt the need to speak up to try to be like the defender, I guess, of transphobia or something. It was just weird.
And they will respect my religion. It's a two-way street. It was unfair of me to expect someone to respect my religion when I wasn't respecting their pronouns.
Why would they respect your religion? Nobody's disrespecting your religion. What are you talking about? The existence of trans people doesn't disrespect your religion. What are you talking about? So
that is my fault. And out of these three things, I do apologize for that. And you gotta understand, that doesn't make me violently transphobic. If you are transgender, I don't hate you. I don't go to Walmart and see a guy wearing a dress and then just like, I clench my fist.
Well, even with that, that's a backhanded transphobic compliment. Like, he's like, I don't hate trans people. If I see a guy in a dress, like, it's obvious to me that you're trying to insinuate that trans women are guys in dresses, so you can't even help yourself here.
Think angry thoughts at him. I don't care. Everyone has their right to express themselves. And out of all of the sexual beliefs to have, being transgender...
Transgender, it's not a sexual belief. Even that's just dumb. It's just a dumb, ignorant thing to say. It's not a sexual belief. It's their gender.
It's so harmless. Just let people do their thing. They have just as much of a right to identify as the opposite gender as I do to put on this helmet. No one has the right to tell me I'm not allowed to put on this helmet. In the same way...
I wish I could take the helmet and beat myself to death with it. This is just so draining.
No one has the right to tell anyone else that they don't get to identify as something.
So
that
cool,
is all.
brother. So
I am
cool,
not
brother.
hateful. I am not...
It only took you losing your platform to stop caring about trans. Like, you literally don't even have to like trans people. You just have to just not talk about them if you don't like them. Like, that's the bare minimum. It took you losing your platform to realize that. It's incredible. What a meant to beware.
Transphobic? I don't care. I really don't. You can do what you want, and it doesn't weird me out. So those are the first two.
Okay.
The scam was just because my sister hated me and
Sure.
didn't like that.
Sister hated you. That's why she had you living with her. You know what? It was probably more that like your sister was probably not doing enough, and the husband probably got pissed off and was like, he has to go. Like he's taking advantage of us here. He's having people live with us where we told him not to. Like he never asked us permission, so he's got to go. Get this goofy goober out of here.
That I was okay afterward. The second thing,
Yeah, I'm gonna check out the Logan and Judy.
that's fair. At least that semi made sense. And you have my word that I will not use my religion as an excuse to be hateful. That was dumb of me.
You don't really have a platform anymore to do that, so it doesn't really matter.
And
I'm not advocating for his downfall. I just like, you know, especially as somebody who's had their platform taken away, I just don't really care that much. You know, at the very least, I actually laugh about my platform getting taken away now because, and I'm not to be an asshole, but like I was the largest social political commentary content creator on TikTok, and now, like, no, and not to be an asshole, I was probably one of the only people with any level of fucking intelligence on TikTok. That's not speaking highly of me. That's just speaking accurately of how dumb fucking people are on TikTok. People will tune into them for 15 seconds. There's no nuanced thought or intelligent perspective on there. And so now you have a whole huge issue, especially now with all like the incredible transphobia and homophobia and all this shit on the platform. And there's nobody intelligent to speak out against it. So, because everybody's a fucking idiot. So it's almost comical. Not really. I mean, it would have been nice if I sold my platform to be able to speak out against some of this shit. But, you know, that's kind of the reality of the situation. What is this?
Apologize. And I hope that there's no hard feelings and there's no beef between me and anyone who hated me for that. If you have a sister or a friend or a best friend who's transgender and you heard that Tall Knight hates trans people, I understand why you would hate me for that. But just know that it wasn't on purpose. I didn't mean anything super hardcore about it. I just didn't like the person's music.
No, you just didn't like that nobody was bullying them. So you felt the need to speak up. That's what really happened.
But if you are trans, it's your identity.
Okay.
And no one has the right to tell you otherwise.
Wow.
So those are the first two
What
things. And now,
the baseline?
moving on to the
Holy
third
shit,
one.
the bare minimum, this guy. He's such a nice guy.
This one I have been definitely avoiding the most because it hits very close to home.
Wouldn't the other one do that since it was your sister? Like, oh shit.
Out of all the things I have been called, out of all the insults people have made about me, and all the horrible things about me that people believe,
Okay.
this one hurts the most.
Oh, fuck my balls.
People calling me
I'm
a
gonna cry.
pedophile.
Whoa, not good, dude.
And I will explain why that hurts the most.
Oh, it's probably not true. I mean, like, nothing that we've seen would indicate that he's a pedophile. Like, that word means nothing on the internet now because people overuse it and overuse the word grooming all the time. And like I said, like, he's definitely being inappropriate. He needs to be more careful about who he plugs his content or who he like responds to in comments and whatnot. But nothing indicates pedophilia in any capacity.
After, but first,
Frankly, I don't even think that 99.99% of the people on the internet could even tell you what a pedophile is, like with any actual like understanding or like intelligence or certainty. It's just a word people use when they're uncomfortable with the thing. It's kind of the truth. The word, words mean something for a reason, and there's just like constantly people want to reclassify what that word means just for, just because they want to be able to say that other person's bad, like they don't like know what the fucks they're talking about. Like words matter. Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, frankly, like people misusing that and calling everybody a pedophile is usually on the left is the same thing as people on the right calling everybody a fucking groomer. Those words don't mean anything anymore. It's annoying.
First, let's just explain why people believe that in the first place.
Okay.
A while back in my Discord, one of my moderators, all of which were 16 plus, I didn't allow anyone in who was under 16.
Okay.
There was this one girl in there who was 4'9". She was super duper short, and I'm 6'5".
Wow.
And I found that hilarious. So I started calling her cute in a patronizing way because I knew she was so fucking short. And
Okay, now I'm not believing you. What? What are you talking about?
I thought that was adorable, but not in a sexual way.
What?
I was like patronizing and making fun of her in the way that I called her cute.
I don't even believe what you're saying right now. That doesn't even make sense to me. You don't, what? Like you're acting like I'm not a boy or a man. This is what people like. Guys bully girls that they think are attractive. What are you talking about? Do you think that like I'm dumb? Like I don't. What? Oh, okay.
But then shortly after that, me and my girlfriend weren't in a good spot, so me and her decided to split. And then after we split, everyone in the Discord was like, he broke up with Kate? We're all Kate's best friend. How could he do that to her? So then they all, oh my god, my entire staff team turned against me because they loved Kate.
I don't know if I believe that. Now I'm feeling like maybe he is a fucking pedophile. Wait, what? Dude, what? I find it hard to believe that you're a girlfriend and you broke up. So every one of all your fans were like, I loved Kate more than you and I'm going to hate you now. I don't know. It just sounds like you're babbling on.
So then they started telling everyone in the Discord that I was hitting on my moderator, who will remain nameless.
How old was the moderator and how old were you?
All of my staff will all be anonymous. I'm not outing anyone. This was all a while ago. There is no beef between me and any of them. They all moved on and they're all living their own lives. I'm only mentioning this again. It's been brought up again in TikTok. But that's all that happened. She was 17. I am 19.
Oh, I don't know. This is my thing. First of all, I don't know what is and isn't accurate because this guy just fucking babbles on all the time on everything. So he could be lying. They could be like fucking 9 years old for all the fuck I know. If what he's saying is true, then it's not any type of grooming in any capacity. It just definitionally could not be. 17, 19, absolutely not. Just not real. I don't doubt it. But also, why did you feel the need to pretend like you weren't hitting on them? You probably were hitting on them. What was probably happening was that you were hitting on this person, and then like your mod team was like, "Oh, dude, you're being an asshole, bro. You have a girlfriend, dude." That's probably what actually happened. But okay.
That does not make me a pedophile.
No, of course
not
it
even
doesn't.
slightly. Not even a little bit. Your typical pedophile is in his fucking 30s looking at pictures of 8-year-olds.
Just so you know, I guess what a pedophile is, like, according to the DSM, it's somebody who is 16 or older, who is attracted to children 13 and under, within a 5-year plus age range. And they've had persistent feelings or thoughts or expressions with this for at least 6 months. Like, that's what definitionally like a pedophile is, right? So you can't be a pet. Like, that's what it is. So yeah, I mean, I guess you could be in your 30s. You could be 19, talking to fucking 13-year-olds, though. Also, I suppose, if I'm doing my math right, because my math is bad right now. But okay.
That is a pedophile, and that is disgusting, and they all deserve to burn in hell for all eternity.
What do you mean? The Bible says it's okay as long as you marry them once they start menstruating. What are you talking about? I thought you were religious. You have to know this. There's no actual age of consent in the Bible. That is it. That is scary. That's a scary thing. So.
One of them. And something else did come to my attention recently today that I do need to own up to. It was something that I was not aware of, and it was a mistake, and it was my fault. About a week ago, I posted a video showing off how tall I was, and it like blew up. It got like 500,000 likes. It was great. And then like all the comments were like thirsty as fuck, like super duper simpy. So at the time, I had just started making NSFW content.
I like how he's just trying to make it seem like I just don't believe this framing. I had made a video with my shirt off, like randomly, kind of like a weird, like, people happened to think it was attractive. By the way, I also was making an OnlyFans. Like, okay, so what you're actually saying is you made a thirst trap, and it trapped people. Don't beat around the bush. What are you talking about? Just be like, yeah, I made a thirst trap. Which is weird because you're supposed to be a religious content creator, but like, whatever, I don't care. But
on Twitter and OnlyFans because I needed more money. I needed to pay my bill. I needed to
yeah. Like, he ran out of options and he needed to do OnlyFans.
Pay for groceries. I still don't have furniture.
You could get a job. I don't know. It's a thought.
I don't have a dresser or a bed frame or a TV stand. Everything is on the ground. My laundry is folded in piles on the ground.
Right?
So I started thinking of ways to make more money, and so I started doing OnlyFans. So
I was like, I could get a job, but then I'd have to work. So I think I'll do OnlyFans.
Here is literally all that happened. I was like, man, I really need to promote my OnlyFans on my TikTok more because I need more traction there because the OnlyFans wasn't doing super successfully. So I clicked on my favorited audios on TikTok, my favorite sounds, and then saw that this one sound was trending that day. And it was this song. Fuck like you want it. Fuck like you want it, baby. And I was like, huh, okay.
Okay, so he found a sound that was being used to promote people's OnlyFans. It's not just a trending sound. Let's be very clear. I'm sure I would guarantee you, just based off of what it sounds like that's a song that people who do thirst traps use. Okay, so you use that intentionally. Gotcha.
This could be used to make a thirst trap. I was like, okay, so I need a comment of someone saying that they want something from me so that I can use this audio to direct them towards my content. So I clicked on my latest video that did really well. I scrolled through the comments and just searched for a comment saying that they wanted something. And I saw one that said, I want to see it grow. And I was like, all right, well, that'll have to do. So I held on the comment, hit reply with video, and then made a short little thing saying...
Yeah, and the girl happened to be like 15 or something, and you should check that. Like, it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal, but you need to make sure you do better. But my thing is you know, it is a bare minimum to say, like, hey, just check the profile if you're going to respond to a comment like that. Also, just make a fake account and comment whatever you want yourself. Like, people do that all the time. Who gives a shit? I don't understand.
Well, if you want that, go to my Twitter, because that's where my stuff is. And it turns out, apparently, that comment was from someone who was 08, which means that she was 15 years old. That's on me. That's my fault. I should have checked, but I didn't. You got to understand that that was not on purpose.
I'm sure it wasn't.
It was an 18 plus comment to make. So I assumed the user was 18 plus. You gotta
like, yeah, I believe this guy's just an idiot. I doubt he's like a fucking like predator trying to do shit with people. So
understand the logical thought process there. I saw someone saying something that an adult would say, so I assumed that the user was an adult. I didn't know that they were underage, and that's my bad.
Okay.
That's my bad.
Okay.
But holy,
thanks, bro.
Oh my god. The fact that people actually tried to act like I did that on purpose and that makes me a pedophile pisses me the fuck off. And you know why? Because that doesn't even fucking make sense. Me advertising my 18 plus content to people under 18 is the equivalent of advertising McDonald's to vegans.
What?
Why would I try and promote my content to people that aren't even allowed to watch it? My OnlyFans, you have to be 18 to see it. Are you okay? Are you dumb? Are the neurons in your brain not firing? How does someone piece those two things together and think that makes any sense? And like, multiple creators made videos about it, trying to out me for it, saying that I did it on purpose and that I'm advertising my OnlyFans to minors. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? No, that was not on purpose. I'm not gonna advertise my content to the people who can't even see it. One, it doesn't make sense. And two, that's disgusting. That is fucking disgusting. Anyone who goes after children deserves to die. Whoa. And the reason I feel so strongly about this, and the reason why out of all of the insults to call me, why out of all of the things, out of all of these things that people...
Bro, do you hear the music that this guy's running on right now? You hear the background music? Dude, who edited this video to be as like fucking... He's really trying to pull the heartstrings with this one. Holy fuck.
Believe about me that this one hurts the most.
Why? Tell me why.
It's because my mom...
Was a pedophile?
Was a pedophile.
Incredible.
My mother...
I thought he was making a joke. I'm so sorry. Okay, that's interesting. Wow, I gotta take a breather on that one. I'm sorry, because it might be true. You might be really expressing something very real, but it's a little jarring to hear that. Okay.
Was a pedophile.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Growing up wasn't fun. I don't like talking about it, and I'm not going to get significantly into detail.
Okay.
I hate her for the things that she's done.
Okay.
I will always hate her.
Is this gonna get DMCA'd? I mean, listen, this might be so real. This also might be a weird lie. The only reason I say that is because this guy is a weird liar. I really just don't know. You know, I don't mean to try to be dismissive of a potential thing that happened, but this guy lies a lot. So it's kind of hard for me. You know what I mean? But maybe that's just me being too skeptical. What is this?
I will never be able to forgive my mother for the things that she's done.
Okay.
And the idea that people can believe that I am like her in any way. That in the horrible things that my mother has done, that I am the same way.
Okay.
And all of the disgusting things that she did, that people would call me the same thing that I would call her.
Okay. I think it might be the music. I don't know. Maybe this guy has like a mental disorder that doesn't let him like ever come off as genuine or serious. I have no idea.
That hurts more than you could possibly imagine.
Okay. Well, maybe we could tell if you had your fucking mask off.
In no reality
Okay.
do I ever want to be anything like that woman.
Okay.
I never want to see her again. And the idea that I resemble her in any way
Dude, what the fuck is happening?
profoundly disgusts me.
Okay.
And I am so sorry to anyone that I made uncomfortable in that way. I want to be nothing like her. And I'm so sorry if I came off that way in any way.
Okay.
Sincerely, I am sorry. But you gotta understand. You gotta understand it was not on purpose. So, that's it. I am sorry. I should have checked. I just didn't.
Okay.
But it wasn't on purpose.
Okay.
So thank you for watching this whole video. That means you really care. That means you actually care about the truth. And that means you actually want to know what happened and you don't just believe whatever you see on TikTok. So thank you. And I will probably be posting more on here than TikTok going forward. Just because TikTok is such a toxic cesspool. People believe shit so quickly there. It's insane. So
Okay.
I'm gonna try and stay positive. And I'm gonna try and keep posting, you know, good vibes and try and keep my head up and rebuild my account, so on and so forth. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I know I did. I'm sorry that I offended anyone. And I hope you can either come to forgive me and we can move on, or just block me and forget I exist. But just please, for the love of God,
Okay.
stop sending me hate. Stop insulting me in the comments. Stop DMing me on Insta telling me to kill myself. That is not good for my mental health. And I can't take much more of it, especially knowing that the insults are based on things that aren't true.
Okay.
So, yeah. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have an awesome day. Later.
Okay. Wow, incredible. No idea how to. Okay, interesting. Let's just see if there's any updates from Pippi or the other guy?
If you can give me just a
Okay, it looks like there's an update from Tall Knight.
Yes.
if you can give me just a
From a minute ago.
couple minutes, I can irrefutably prove how
Okay, wait a minute. I gotta make it so you guys can see this too. Just give me like a second. All right, we're just gonna put this up here. It's gonna look a little different.
I'm innocent. This is
Okay.
the month of August. We are
What the fuck are you doing? Are you spreading your legs out?
there. This is when everything went down. When I started my Patreon, which had higher pay, but I did not know had
He's really telling us about this higher pay.
no age verification, that was around just before the beginning of the month. There's proof. It ran for almost exactly a week before it got reported and then taken down.
Okay.
And then there's proof of that. And my OnlyFans, which is age restricted but pays less, I started on the 9th.
Okay.
There's proof of that. Now this whole drama started when I made a video advertising my content in general, just NSFW content, to a minor accidentally. And the day that video was posted was the 10th. Here's proof of that. So days before, the Patreon had nothing accessible on it. The posts were there, but they couldn't be accessed.
Gotcha.
So at no point in time did I make a video sending a minor to a website that didn't require age restriction. When I made that video, the only thing available was my OnlyFans. That was the only thing that existed from that point on. Do you understand now? So I am eternally sorry that I did not check her bio first. That's my fault. I never specifically went after underage people to send them to that website. Please, please, please tell me you understand.
Okay, so we are now off stream. It is several hours after the stream has ended, of course, and it turns out that there seems to be a little bit more. When it comes to the Tall Knight situation. The lore goes deep. So I'm going to throw this in here and talk about it a little bit more. So let's get back with a Professor Pippi video. And then there's going to be a Tall Knight response video. And then there's going to be, Professor Pippi, your favorite guy, which is another person on TikTok. Then Tall Knight's response to that guy. Then this into your favorite guy's next video. So let's get this going.
When the suit comes on, I mean business. So who wants to see how Tall Knight,
So
aka
just to be very clear, something that's like relevant. Tall Knight is 19, my understanding. That is what I was told talking to somebody named Muscle Pilled, who is like friends with Professor Pippi, as well as you can see it's in this video as well from your favorite guy. He says that he's 19 somewhere in here. I've looked through a little bit of it. Either way, he's 19. So him talking to a 16-year-old girl, it's not really something like with note. So I just want to, it's something, well, I mean, we can note it, but it's not going to be something that necessarily speaks against him age-wise. I don't think 16 and 19 is particularly massively inappropriate. If you think it's a bit inappropriate, that's fine. It's not going to be, groomerish or pedophile-ish or anything, but let's see what we got here.
Elijah Braun talks to 16-year-old girls in private. All right, let's start off strong, where Tall Knight is already catching feelings after he just started.
All right, so it says, I don't want to catch feelings for someone that fast, just break my heart already so I can move on. And I guess they said, why me? I don't know, you're so gorgeous. It looks like he says your eyes, something about her eyes. All right, well, I'm just going to leave. See, it sounds like he's just being annoying. He's a bit of a pest. Okay.
Started talking to this 16-year-old girl. Here he's complimenting how her eyes are so full of innocence and how he wants to protect her.
Yeah, that's obviously very weird. I think that this kind of all speaks to like this mythology, we'll say, of the Tall Knight guy. He seems to be the kind of person that wants to come off as like the nice guy. He wants to come off as the good guy. He's a good person, all this other bullshit. That's what I get out of it. To be absolutely honest with you, that's where this seems to come from. It's still weird, right? It's still weird. It's still obviously inappropriate. It's just obnoxious to be doing this kind of stuff, admitting your love for somebody, or like telling them that they're greatest thing in the whole world. To me, it's like fuckboy behavior, But We all love that, huh?
But she's so beautiful and she should just break his heart so he can go ahead and move on. And here, when he's questioned about the creepiness of this, he says, I just...
Elaborate? Well, it doesn't sound like she's questioning the creepiness necessarily, but it says, I mean, just your eyes. They look so full of creativity and unembellished kindness. Wow, somebody took a creative writing class. Maybe some dark thoughts behind them, but laughing emoji. I don't know, that's what I'm captivated by. In such an instant moment, just like that, I was instantly enchanted and wanted to know everything about you and protect you and search. So weird. What a weird guy. Okay, but obviously, I can't read the rest. Let's continue.
mean your eyes. They look so full of creativity and unblemished kindness. Maybe some dark thoughts behind them.
Yeah, and that's obviously a tester to try to, like, you know, flirt with them and see if they can get any images from them, which is illegal, by the way. Which is illegal. I would say 16 and 19 isn't really immoral to me. And even if it's inappropriate, it's not like pedophile grooming shit, but yeah, okay.
I don't know. That's just what I was captivated by. In such an instant moment, just like that, I was instantly enchanted and wanted to know everything about you and protect and serve you. But he says, obviously, that's not going to happen. So go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off and tell me to leave. Here he says to the 16-year-old, you have yet to mercilessly reject me. Like, just tell me to KMS.
Short, MF. What is that, like? New vernacular? I'm getting old. Okay.
Already, so I can stop thinking about you. Here the grown man tells this.
She said, he's not really a grown man. Let's just be very real. But
16-year-old girl, he literally still feels like he is mentally a kid.
So just to be clear, like I'm gonna look at the mentally a kid thing, but can we stop calling 19-year-olds grown anything? You know what I mean? I find it interesting that when it's a 19-year-old boy, you know, he's a grown man, but if it's like a 19-year-old girl, all of a sudden she doesn't have the ability or capacity to consent to a 30-year-old. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is, like, stay consistent. If you think, I think that he's an adult by definition, but he's still a kid. He's 19, and you know. But anyway, I was an absolute nerdy twig the last 18 years of my life. I didn't even get my first girlfriend until I graduated. Like, this is what I looked like a couple years ago. I had to say it, but that's who I am mentally speaking. He doesn't say that he's a kid. He just says mentally speaking, he's a nerd. This is like a really weird... The framing here is weird from Professor Pippi. I mean, the guy's bad enough without all this stuff. We watched all this other content. So why try to make it seem like he's some kind of a sexual predator? I mean, he doesn't say that he has the mentality of a kid. He's saying that he has the mentality of a nerd. But okay.
We've got this. We've got this.
Can you stop? You have absolutely no right to be looking that precious. It sounds like she's kind of talking back to him a little bit, so like that's probably why he's continuing the annoying pestering.
But I think this one best illustrates.
What is this one? You have.
What
you
type
just
of
look so full of innocence, and I
grown
will
man
protect you. Oh yeah, it's weird, but
this is.
And that person apparently liked it also, which is something to keep in mind. Like, it looks like they put a heart underneath it. So it seems like, I don't know, I guess this is like they're kind of setting him up in some capacity. I don't know.
And clearly he knew she was 16 years old.
He's 19. So
now, Tall Knight, if anything I said in this video is untrue, you can sue me for defamation of character and take everything I have. But I don't think you're going to do that, because this is all true, and you know it. All right, y'all know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's enough. The guy is annoying in the first place. If you want to call out this type of behavior because, like, you think that he's being a pest, which he is, I think go at it, be my guest. But it seems like we're trying to insinuate that he's some kind of like a groomer. It's just stupid. I think that it's like childish, and it's like it's more pedo jacking. It's like what it means to be like an actual predator on the internet is so diminished. That like we're decimating what these words mean, and we're having like a negative conversation, like a negative social conversation based on that. But let's get to your favorite guy's next thing.
This man right here is the worst man on TikTok right now, and I'm gonna tell you guys everything.
What about Bentelect, dude?
He's done. This is the story of the Tall Knight, the most despicable man on TikTok.
I don't know if he's the most despicable. Probably the most average man on TikTok. Let's be real, man. Young men are dogs. He's a dog. I mean, he's really cringy. He's being annoyingly aggressive with like some of these people he's talking to. But I wouldn't say that like he's the worst man on TikTok.
The Tall Knight started doing TikTok 2 years ago. And originally, everything was fine. He was about good vibes. He wore the Knight's helmet. People
That's
liked
the biggest problem, is the whole Knight's helmet nonsense. Well, not that. Well, that is annoying. It's stupid. But what's more ridiculous to me is the good guy attitude, because this is one of those things. I think that some of the things that are happening this whole night are undeserved. But at the end of the day, also a lot of them, like, I think, are reasonable. Some of the criticism is reasonable, and I think one of the problems, though, is that this person put on a persona that they were this, like, really nice, good guy, and I just don't see it in every facet. He just seems to be kind of a dick. And so I think for, like, a lot of this stuff, what's happening is people are like, wow, this guy pretended to be such a really nice guy, and now it turns out he's just kind of a douchebag. I don't like him anymore. And that's where he's getting a lot of the heat from in general, because that's what's going to happen. You know, your audience will consume you, of course, in some different capacities. So,
but starting on February 20th of this year, he has committed so many abominations that I'm all going to name to you.
Okay.
You better buckle up, because I have a lot of things to talk about here. Okay. First off, on February 20th, the Tall Knight scammed his fans out of over $200,000.
Kind of. Just to be clear with the context of that, like, he was asked to leave his house. He had like a month to leave by his sister, because it seems like he tried to move his girlfriend in without asking, and they wanted him out. So he told everybody that he was going to be immediately homeless, put bags on the outside, and said, guys, I need their donations, blah, blah, blah. Turned out that he had like a while before he had to leave, so he didn't need to, like, you know. So the getting the money wasn't an issue. If he had just said, hey guys, my sister's kicking me out of the house, I'm going to be out of the house in a month, or you know, however long, I could really use some help, and he got him a bunch of money. Good for him. I wouldn't care about that. But that's the issue there, is he sensationalized him getting kicked out.
He told them he was homeless, when in reality, he was not. Here's a screenshot of him texting a girl on Instagram saying he could buy her a bunch of expensive things with the money he scammed his fans from, saying that he was never actually homeless. As you could see.
Let me read this, guys. I'd buy you whatever you wanted, diamonds and pearls. Wait, weren't you homeless? I'm not caught up in all the time. No, no, by the way, wait, you were never, wait, you never were? Nah, to be honest, wait, delete this. Oh, okay. What an idiot. He's such a dumb fucking person. Holy shit. Wow, what a moron.
See here. When his sister's husband called him out for scamming his fans, he threatened to dox him and made him take all the receipts down.
Damn.
A little less than a month later, he made a video that purposely misgendered a trans person simply because he didn't like the music that they put out. Doubled down on his actions and his words.
Yeah, you know, again, first of all, what he did was very transphobic, and it was wrong, right? Like, he went under a trans person's post, and he felt like there wasn't enough hate for that person, so he said, why? Like, basically, he said, hey, why is he deleting comments when it was a trans woman? Right now, again, you might be like, well, that's not that big of a deal. I think it's obviously wrong, because I'm very trans affirming, but this is supposed to be the nice guy. This is supposed to be the good guy. He's supposed to be the guy that's all about positive vibes and, you know, big smooches on the lips. You know, he's not supposed to be the guy that is about harassing people for any difference in opinion. You know what I mean? He decided to play this like weird game, and so, like, yeah, you're gonna get criticism for that, obviously, because you're being disrespectful, you're being rude, and that's where a lot of that comes from. You know, you can't be the nice guy, and then all of a sudden, you know, get upset when people are like, yo, you're supposed to be a nice guy. And that's one of the big things. If he was just his character wasn't a really nice positive vibe guy, he wouldn't have gotten nearly as much hate for that. But
multiple times, and here's him bragging to somebody about all the followers he gained from being.
Let's see. I was bored because you called some trans music artist a girl. Bye, you're crazy. No, I didn't call them a girl, and everyone got mad as fuck. It was how quickly a lot of my fans switched on me. But we good so far. I'm actually gained 11K followers since. Okay, so he's not gaining it from that instance. He's gaining it back from the cancellation. I don't know why he's talking shop with randos on the internet. Like, you know, keep your business to yourself. Like, he's got yapper mouth over here.
Being a transphobe. Next up, he's cheated on his girlfriend so many times, it's too many to count.
Don't do it.
Here are different screenshots from different girls, all of them cheating on his girlfriend. They broke up and then got back together. Her name's Kate.
Oh, well, if they broke up and then got back together, it sounds like they broke up and he talked to other girls and then they got back together. It's okay.
And they're currently together right now. One of the girls who he cheated.
I guess it's nice that the younger generation cares so much about cheating. I mean, it's not a good thing to do. You shouldn't cheat. I'm just saying, you know, we're facing like fucking scamming allegations, taking money out of people's pockets, and fucking other grooming allegations when we're all worried about like cheating. It's like, okay, not a good thing, obviously.
cheated on his girlfriend with came out and showed messages of him saying he wanted to grape her. And
he's 19. What happened before he was a young lady came to me with proof of him cheating on his girlfriend with her and being extremely weird, saying he wanted to rape her and things like that. And when he came out about it, he doxed the girl and me and took a break for like, oh, you'd have to prove that. That's a lot. You got to show me that. You
do other disgusting things to her. And these girls
that's not proof of somebody saying that's what they did. We have to see that. We have to see that.
Came out with the information that he was cheating on his girlfriend with them. He sent his fans after them, doxed a bunch of them, and threatened them so much that they took all the receipts down. The Tone Night.
Do you still have the receipts? Because we need to see that stuff. I also wonder if he like actually threatened to sexually assault her, or if it was some kind of weird kink that he has, CNC, which is like consensual, not consent, or whatever. I need to see receipts.
Claimed that he did this because he thought it was an open relationship because his girlfriend was.
I'm gonna have to make a list of everything he's done. Yeah, he claims he thought he was in an open relationship because his girlfriend was bisexual. He claims he thought he was in an open relationship. What the fuck does that even mean? What a weirdo! Like, at least why make it like lie about it if you're gonna cheat? Like, what the fuck?
Bisexual. My girlfriend's bisexual. That does not mean it's an open relationship. Tone Night has a history of him doxing and his fans doxing anyone who calls him out for his terrible behavior. When content creators came out about this, he doxed the girl, left TikTok for a month, and then came back as if nothing had happened. And here, he is unapologetic that the girl...
she got doxed with all her info, number, everything. You sent horribly vile text because you said I want it to happen, and you let... and yet you say she deserved that. Well, fuck, bro. No, I am not sorry. Not even in the slightest. But this is affecting Kate and her mental health. That's why I care about it. She's the only reason I'm offering this. Oh, okay, well, if he doesn't say, no, I didn't dox them, I guess he did.
Girl got doxed. Next, we have his huge Patreon debacle. He showed his private parts to minors. He was selling a fitness course on Patreon.
This one is, like, sensationalized. We gotta stop pedo jacking shit, right? He made a Patreon and like an OnlyFans because he wanted to sell his fucking nudes, and then he put them up on Patreon, not realizing that you can't do that. You can show nudes on Patreon. You can show nudes on Patreon, but you can't do like explicit material. So you can be naked, you just can't like physically arouse yourself or other people, right? Yeah, he didn't lock it behind an 18+ paywall. That's obviously a problem. If he did it intentionally, sure, you could argue that he was trying to get minors to go to his page. I frankly don't think he was intending to try to make that happen, but it's possible. Yeah, so just something to keep. I mean, it's possible. I just, I don't think that we should operate with the worst case scenario. I don't think that anybody else would like it if we all operated in like, what's the worst case scenario that anybody operates in. I like to operate with what the most likely scenario is, but could be wrong.
By the way, doesn't have age verification, so he was selling it to minors. And anyone who bought his Patreon of his fitness routine saw his private parts.
I don't think that's true. You're saying it's not accurate. Hold on a second.
Verification, so he was selling it to minors. And anyone who bought his Patreon of his fitness routine.
Hi Elijah, your post jerking off has been okay. So the reason I'm saying like no, it's not from what I've seen. Like the first tier was the $5 tier, which was like just the fitness routine, and then you saw 2 other tiers attached to that. It's likely that you could say that people who bought the workout routine might have been curious and increased the amount of money to see if they can get more out of him or see more of him. So that's possible.
Saw his private parts. Minors, anyone, you name it. Without their consent, they saw it. He claims it was locked away, but as you can see,
they would have to have wanted to see it. But it doesn't mean that minors didn't see it. I'm just saying it's not like non-consensual. Okay.
From here, and I had to censor it, there's a tiny lock on the picture, but the rest of the image is clearly visible. Next up, he was also selling an adult course on his Patreon, which again, by the way, is not age verified, and they don't allow NSFW content on there. His minor fans bought it. As
Again, NSFW, like the way that Patreon defines it, is like sexual content. Like you can put news up there, right? Just to be clear, I looked through this before.
Recently, he claimed that it was never available, but as you can see from this screenshot, which I had to censor, on the top, those were pictures of his wee-wee. Finally, we have the latest controversy that he's committed. And his very latest controversy comes from him making sexual comments in replies to underage girls on his TikTok page. The sexually charged comment he replied to of a 13-year-old girl. He made a video advertising his OnlyFans replying to a comment of a 15-year-old girl. This past week, he's gotten banned on his main account, which had 1.6 million followers, and I agree with this decision. Now he's on that
Sure, I mean, that's fine if they wanted to ban him for that. I guess he followed him. Yeah, you know, again, I doubt that he wanted. I mean, it's possible. I doubt that he wanted kids to like engage with this. It's more likely he didn't like you look at the page to see what age they were. But I mean, the bare minimum is to look at the page if you're going to respond to a sexually charged message. You know, I mean, frankly, why not just make your own like alt account and then post like, oh, let me see it grow, and then make that. I don't understand why you wouldn't do that. Either way, sure.
That he showed, trying to deny everything, talking about a lot of nonsense, nothing that really addresses the multitude of things he has committed. This man can't be a content creator. There's too much. And I used to be mutuals with him, is the funniest thing.
Crazy.
Before any of this came out, and he still follows me on that alt account. And guess what? This is far from the entire picture of everything the Tall Knight has done. There are multiple people who haven't come forward yet, aren't willing to, and are scared of him to dox them or to threaten their life. Before I go, I do want to talk about my friend Professor Pippi. He's been calling out the Tall Knight since the beginning. The Tall Knight doxed him and 30 others in his Discord, including his head mod, who is a pregnant woman. If you're following me, make sure you follow him. Anyways, that's it for the story of the Tall Knight. TikTok's most despicable.
Why the fuck is this mod a pregnant woman? She doesn't have anything better to do than mod a fucking Discord. It's just weird to me.
Oh man, what do you guys think about this? Thank you for listening and follow for more.
Honestly,
this man right here is
right,
the worst man on.
Let's see what Tall Knight's response is.
This man right here is the worst man on TikTok right now, and I'm gonna tell you guys.
Bro, okay. At this point, this dude just needs to stop responding to criticism if he wants a TikTok career. Because oh my god.
Yes, I'm turning my comments off.
Oh shit! This guy's
Yes,
serious,
I'm making
dude.
my Instagram private.
Oh,
no, I'm not
shit.
going to be answering any DMs.
Okay.
I explain everything on my YouTube.
Go to my YouTube.
And this sucks because I followed this guy. I love your content. I genuinely do.
Okay.
I have absolutely nothing against you whatsoever, and I know it's not your fault that you've been misinformed. It's not your fault. So just please, to everyone stalking my account right now, just watch my YouTube video.
Yeah, I watched it. It
Please.
wasn't great. Well, if you're
This
this
man
far
right
in my
here
video,
is-
you watched it too, huh? Okay. Ooh, snag that, pussy. All right, let's see. Your favorite guy made another video.
And guess what? This is far from the entire picture of everything the Tall Knight has done. There are multiple people who haven't come forward yet, aren't willing to, and are scared of him to dox them or to threaten their life. I said that not even 10 minutes ago, and another girl just came forward, and guess how old she is?
I don't know.
16.
Okay.
She's 16 years old.
Who cares?
He says, "You're so goddamn beautiful. Your eyes just look so full of innocence."
Oh, this is the one we already looked at. Wait, nobody came forward. What are you talking about? You're just looking at the other guy's video. Okay.
And like I want to protect you.
Okay.
But obviously that ain't gonna work, so just reject me. Telling the 16-year-old to reject him. Like tell me to myself already so I can stop thinking about you. You have absolutely no right to be looking that precious.
Okay.
And by the way, while I did censor her face, I know what she looks like. She definitely looks 16.
Whoa.
I ain't got no
Bro, the internet's so wild. Like, I don't really care because this guy's a fucking weirdo, the Tall Knight guy. But, like, you guys are so bizarre when it comes to, like, some of these assertions. You guys are like, this really, like, 16 and 19 really isn't that, it's really not inappropriate. It's definitely, like, not something to sound the alarm bells. Like, if you think it's inappropriate, that's fine. And that's a social conversation because society goes, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I don't really think it's that big of a deal either. I think what's more concerning is like the weird, like, he's just like being annoying. He's a fucking sex pest, right? You know, he's a typical fucking, you know, well, 19-year-old kid. But, like, okay, whatever. Play.
No business catching feelings for someone else that fast. So just like beat me up or something. Text me back. I'm lonely as fuck. I believe this is the nail in the coffin for Tall Knight. This is it.
Why? Why
The final nail. Take everything that Tall Knight says with a grain of salt. He's lied for the better part of a year. He's doxed people for the better part of a year. He's cheated on his girlfriend multiple times for the better part of a year.
Based, am I right?
It's so over.
Just kidding.
This man is terrible. He's a predator.
No, he's not a predator. Jesus Christ, relax. Yeah, so this should be the end of the video finally, unless there's more that comes out before I release it or, you know, edit the video out or whatever. Yeah, man, at the end of the day, like, the Tall Knight guy seems to definitely be like a pretty big walking red flag. You know, I would say that he's your somewhat typical 19-year-old fuckboy, very immature. Seems like somebody who weaponizes his platform against other people, to dox people in some instances. And that, I think, is something that you would definitely say, hey, you don't deserve a platform, like, if you're going to dox people, for sure. But you know how I always am. I'm always apprehensive about, like, overcharged, like, pedo accusations, especially since there's nothing that actually... there's no doesn't get founds that, you know, there's no foundation in that, like realism. Oh, speak. So yeah, that's it.